Hello grade 8s, this is Mr. Miller and welcome to lesson 7.2 on the volume of a prism. So the first thing we're going to look at is finding the volume of some cubes. And the formula for the volume of a prism is to take the area of the base and multiply by the height. Now in this case we have a base which is a square and it's 1 by 1, so we do 1 times 1 and we multiply by the height, which is also 1, and 1 times 1 times 1 gives us 1 centimeter cubed. So as you can see, we're going to have the same type of thing happening for each of B and C, where when we find the area of the base, it's going to be calculated by doing length times width, but of course length and width are equal to each other. So at this point, what I'd like to do is just develop our formula for the volume of a cube, a simplified version instead of writing all this area of base times height stuff. So we know that the area of the base is the side length times itself, and the height is the same. So basically it means that we're doing s times s times s, which you could abbreviate in this way, saying it's s cubed, which means s times itself 3 times. So you can either do 12.5 times 12.5 times 12.5 on your calculator, or if you can find the cube button on the calculator, you can do 12.5 cubed or raised to the power of 3. And I'll show you that on my calculator in just a moment. So here I've got my calculator, and I'm just going to do 12.5 times 12.5 times 12.5 to show you the one way of calculating this. You can see it's a lot of button pressing. It'd be nice if we have a way of cubing it without having to repeatedly multiply. And there is. So most of you should have some kind of a button like this, raised to the power of 3. Some of you may have a y to the x or x to the y button. So find that and then put in 3 and press enter. And you should find out your answer is 1953.125, and this is cubic centimeters. And so just going to the last one here. To find its volume, we're going to do s cubed, so we're going to do 14 cubed, 14 times 14 times 14, and if you do that on a calculator, you'll find it's 2,744 cubic centimeters. So there you go. Formula for the volume of a cube is equal to whatever the side length is cubed. Or in other words, s times s times s. So you may want to just star that, put it in a little box. You can make use of that anytime. Alright, next we'd like to do the volume of each right triangular prism. Now, with a prism in general, to find the volume, we do the area of the base times its height, and we're talking about the height of the prism. The area of the base, when we're talking about the base, we're not talking about the bottom. We're talking about the base as the triangle. An easy way to remember which is the base in any prism is that the base is the face that gives it its name. This is a triangular prism, So therefore the base is a triangle. So to find the area of the triangle, you do base times height divided by 2, and you multiply by the height of the prism. So notice that I used a lowercase h, and that's to indicate the height of the triangle, and I use an uppercase h to indicate the height of the prism. So the height of the prism is actually the distance in between the two identical faces. So it's the distance between the triangle on the front and the triangle on the back in this case. And this is the base of the triangle, is 4 centimeters. Now that we know where everything is, we can plug those numbers in. 4 times 7 and divided by 2, and then multiply by the height of the prism, which is 1. 4 times 7 is 28. If you divide that by 2, you get 14. Times 1 is 14, and that's in cubic centimeters. So if you get the idea, you may want to try B and C on your own. Pause the video, give that a shot, and then unpause the video and you can check your answers. If you're not sure, I'm going to walk you through it. So again, to find the volume of a triangular prism, you're still doing area of base times height of the prism. And so it's the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2 multiplied by the height of the prism. So here's the base of the triangle, here's the height of the triangle, and here is the height of the prism. It's the distance between the triangle on the front and the back, once again. So we do 20 times 17, and we divide by 2, and then we multiply by 25, and that will give us the total volume. So if you multiply those things through, you should get 4,250 cubic centimeters. And finally for this one, we have area of base times height. Again, it's base times height of the triangle divided by 2 multiplied by the height of the prism. So with this triangle, here's the triangle, and the base is 45, the height is 60, divide by 2 and multiply by the height of the prism, which is 7.5. And if you were to multiply all those things together, you would get 10,125 cubic centimeters. So to summarize here, the formula that we've just learned for the volume of a triangular prism is to do base of the triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2 multiplied by the height of the prism. So you might want to just put that in a box, make note of it, and be able to refer back to that again later. So now let's go on to the next page and take a look at these ones. Here we're being asked to determine the volume of the contents of each right triangular prism. So in the first case, it's saying that this first cube is only 3/4 full. So the volume is 3/4 of the volume of the cube, which is, you calculate the volume of this cube by doing 12 cubed. So now again, if you're not sure how to use your calculator on this, I can show you. What you do is for 3/4, you just do 3 divided by 4, and then you can multiply by 12, and again you want to cube it. So that gives you 1,296. Oops, my 9 came out a bit funny. There we go, that's better. Cubic centimeters. For the other ones, okay, so here we have a triangular prism, and to find its volume, we do, of the contents we have, when it's half full, we do 1/2 times, base of the triangle is 10, height of the triangle is 10, height of the prism is also 10. So remember, it's base of the triangle times height of the triangle divided by 2 and multiplied by the height of the prism. And we're doing half times all that because it's only half full. So if you were to multiply the 3/10 together and then divide by 2 twice, that would give you 250 cubic centimeters. So if you've got the idea, you may want to pause the video now, try part C on your own, and then play the video when you're ready to check your answer. If not, then I'll step you through this. Volume here is, because it's 2/5 full, we do 2/5 times area of the base, so it's 5 by 20, rectangular base, and height of the prism is 12. So if you multiply those three things together, you'll get 480 cubic centimeters. So now we've got one more question to do here, number 4. We want to know what is the area of the base of each right triangular prism. So generally speaking, we have area of base times height to find the volume of any prism. In this case, we are given the volume, we're given the height, we want to know what is the area of the base. So to calculate the area of the base, we simply do volume divided by height. So taking 90 and dividing by 10, that would give you 9 centimeters squared for the area of the base. And for part B, it's the same kind of thing. You would do area of base is the volume, 864 cubic centimeters, divided by the height, 6 centimeters. And if you do that, you get 144 square centimeters for the area. And finally, 1 divided by 1, so that's obviously 1 square centimeter for the area of the base. So that is the end of lesson 7.2. Thanks for watching and have a great day.